Welcome to the High-Tech Investments News Report for Week 8. The news report covers some of the many investments projects High-Tech Investments is currently involved in so you can follow our progress. We hope you will enjoy this news feed and look forward to your comments and remarks.
Hi, Bo here. Welcome back to this week's news report, where once again it is time to have a look at the last 7 days, what has actually happened in the Forex market, what has happened with some of our cryptocurrency pairs that we have in here. We're going to expose everything this particular week again, but I have some sad news straight off the bat. If you remember last week here, I actually mentioned that we had a profit drop. This particular profit drop seems to continue all over our individual EAs. And then obviously during this video here, I'm going to also try and explain why that is. Maybe you think there's something wrong with the EAs, but again, at the end of the day, the Forex market always decides what it wants to do. And this particular week here, it has decided to trade pretty much sideways, very low volatility in here. So obviously that also affects all our EAs. That very much depends on some of these factors actually to make in some serious cash. We're also going to have a closer look at the Sapp coin. This particular week here, the Sapp coin has been pouring in. So for our staking, we're going to have a look and see exactly how much, and obviously also see if that has made any changes to the price as we go through everything here today. And of course, some of our EAs that I have mentioned in the past couple of weeks that you can always find on our website. The Bell Trader is one of them. The Hedged EA, the Lucky Trader, all these EAs in here. We have a few more copy links that we have now added to the service in here. That now means that you can actually go and also copy the first EAs from the Bell Trader. It looks good, and obviously we're going to have a closer look at the entire portfolio through this particular video here too. Last but not least, we're also going to have a look with Expert Forex and Alex, what he has this particular week in here. As you can see here, you are basically having an opportunity from Expert Forex and Alex to make a bit of a small fortune at least. So on some of these copy links also, so if you are a trader, if you understand how to trade, if you can basically do some consistent profits in here, then definitely this is something for you. So I'll explain a bit more about it later in this program. But first of all, let's go and have a look at Yieldnodes. Now, as usual, on the homepage for Yieldnodes, pretty much nothing happens on the front page in here. All you can see is what we still have been owed from Yieldnodes, what is still outstanding. You can see that number in Bitcoin, which is actually quite low because Bitcoin has risen up to, well, you're going to see that in a second. Ethereum 22.37. So again, also very nice numbers in here, but obviously it doesn't really help much. So if Yieldnodes doesn't come back at all. But I have promised you we're going to go and have a look and see what the order coin reserves are showing every single week. And it looks like this. So last week we had a week 7 in here. We are looking at the numbers. And these are the total coins owned by Yieldnodes and the participators in here. And then we compare it to the last week that we had. Now, obviously, very disappointing in here. We can see the masternode balance has changed slightly. So that has definitely been updated. But the masternodes running is pretty much the same from last week. You can see all of them all the way down. And even if we go for PNY 264, same on here, 3,875 on the Sapp. Also the same here. So it looks like the Yieldnodes team is not really updating all these masternodes that are running every single week, because normally we see all the changes for every single coins week after week. So again, looks like this is not the #1 priority for them anymore. Now, if we go and have a look at the Sapp development, so for the coin itself, also here, there's not much change. As you can see, buying and selling is extremely low in here. We lifted last week and pretty much the number is still the same. So this is again with about 7 zeros in here and a 1, and up here it is 7 zeros and a 2. Means pretty much that the value is rock bottom all the way through in here. And this is obviously quite sad, because this is actually what happened to our Sapp staking this week. It has gone completely bonkers in here. A lot of basically coming in every single day. And last week I showed you some of the numbers. They were 140, they were flipping and changing. Now the latest ones that we have, that comes out every single time we get a reward for staking, is 135.10 Sapp. And that also means that this particular week here, we actually made 8,600 Sapps, which is quite astonishing. So we haven't done anything of the sort before. And if it would have been in the old Yieldnode stage, you can only wish, of course. You can see that we have 48,000 Sapp, and at that particular time, that would have been a small little fortune. Unfortunately, it's not that anymore. You can see February has been extremely good to us. Again, January, so nothing actually happened at all. And if we go to PNY, we don't see the same part in here. It has been basically cashing in for quite a few days, 16, 17, 18, 2 times on the 18th, and then again on the 19th in here, with the usual 133 PNY, and that made up 665 PNY, with a weekly profit of 1.8, so it looks pretty okay. We can also see February, how well it has developed compared to January, and since we still have another week to go in here, obviously that will catch up, hopefully, and then we'll see where we're going to end for the entire month. Bitcoin versus USDT, well, it has actually been lower than 100,000 now for a couple of weeks, and you can see during the week here, it was trying again to break the glass ceiling. It seems to have difficulties actually maintaining momentum over the 100,000 at the moment, and pretty much trading sideways in the last couple of days in here at around 95,626 as we are shooting this particular video in here. But we also have to go to the Trade Explorer, and the Trade Explorer is normally the one that seems to do extremely well, except for, as I mentioned in the beginning of the video, not this week. Week 8, $167 is all it could actually come in for the Trade Explorer, 1.7%. So definitely very, very low compared to what we usually see. You remember we started off with $10,000. Balance is now more than 52. And obviously total return is a bit of a rubbish from FX Blue again here, unfortunately. Monthly returns is definitely more than 7% because we never changed the lot size in the 648 days that we've been trading so far. We are closer to the 10 to 12% on average, and we'll go and see that in one of the other videos where I show on the monthly profits. This particular week only shows the weekly profits, but trade wins are still good with 75% in here. And if we go over and have a look at the entire numbers, so this, as you can see, there's a couple of times we made more than 1,000 in a week. That has been a while now. That was last year. And 167, if you want to try and compare it to anything else we had, we have to go all the way back to Christmas to find anything that are even remotely lower. And again, also in November in here, these are very low points. But as you can see, after the low points, you'll actually cash in reasonably again. And last week was obviously a good week with 682. However, also the Wave Liberator for week 8 is low. You can see the top 5 in here is not impressive. Aussie Swiss francs is at $23 or 2.3%. Not that there's anything wrong with 2.3%. We're just used to a lot more. Great British Pounds Japanese, $20, 2%. Aussie New Zealand, $16, 1.6%. And then Great British Pounds Swiss francs, $15, 1.5%. With Great British Pounds CAD at $13, 1.3. So these are extremely low, and that also basically reflects into only 2 digits, $87 or 1.7% in here for the top 5 Wave Liberator EAs. Disappointing, yes, but still cashing in. And drawdown also seems to be going down. Floating profit and loss is at minus 11,700, which is good because if you remember and watching my videos in here, we were above about 20,000 at one point. And now we can see the balance also at 260,000. So again, 22 accounts, $10,000 accounts set up. And a monthly return at the moment, it has dropped a bit. It is down to 1.1%, or if you are trading, as we suggest, on $1,000 accounts, you will have about 11% for that entire portfolio, and a weekly return of around 3% instead of this 0.3. Trade wins are still good with 67%, so it means that things are working out, but trades per day at 14, so most probably has been pulling downwards in this particular week in here. But it is stable because the history is 552 days in here. So definitely enough data overall. And that's also why we have most of these, as you can see on the website, on the copy link service in here. They have been good and stable over time. And definitely they have become very much better as we have changed our trading approach at the end of 2024 to a different basically setup. And that seems to be working quite nicely. It also seems to protect the accounts here now, which most probably also we have taken a bit of profit out. As you can see, 192 down here versus 301 last week. 700 was the week before. Very, very nice high one. But normally we should be in the area of maybe 350, 400,000, 400 in here. Definitely not 400,000, but definitely 350 is a good average number, I believe, for this particular EA. Taking the consideration to how the market works at the moment. The RSI Liberator for week 8. Also here we can see low profits. A lot of Japanese currency pairs, as you can see. They are working quite nicely with our new setup. So US Japanese has done $36, 3.6%. And you can see that's actually 12% on a monthly basis. Aussie Japanese, $28, 2.8%. Great British Pound Japanese, $23 or 2.3%, and then Euro Great British Pounds, $21, 2.1%, and then finishing off with Aussie USD, only $19, 1.9%. And those top 5 have done a bit better than the Wave Liberator in here this week, $126, 2.5%. And again, if you then expand that up, it is still the top 5 has made 10% for the entire month, if you go by that. So still decent numbers. If we have a look at the portfolio, you can see it has flattened out a bit here in the last couple of weeks. But monthly returns used to be 1%, now it's down to 9%. But we take that still, it's a very good on average. Weekly returns is about 0.2 or 2% on $1,000 accounts. And then trades per day, 19. So it is trading quite well, even more than the Wave Liberator in here. History we have now is getting close to the 1 year we talked about, 321 days, so and counting. Also in here, plenty of those currency pairs is on copy link service, the ones that we are waiting to basically recover still, and we have talked about that since September, October, is the US dollar market in here. Has been extremely painful to see that particular one just going up, up and up. And now finally it has reversed, but it has taken its sweet time coming back down again. And that's also why some of the EAs is not really contributing into the profits overall. But here on the RSI, you can see you did 204, so slightly better than the Wave Liberator. But last week it was better, 257. And obviously, if you go back to the beginning of February, it was 547. So some very good numbers. Also here, it looks like on an average, maybe around $300 is what we should aim for. We can see that in the beginning and last year, things were looking a lot better. That also means that some of our settings, we made them a bit more secure, and obviously some of the profit went away, but also the market has changed for this particular year. Again, you can find a lot more details on both the Wave and the RSI Liberator in here on our website. Simply click High Tech Investments and then go to Portfolio. You'll come into the Portfolio Opportunities. And where we're going next is actually the new Hedged EA that we have set up. Several EAs, actually 16 in here. And these are the top 5 for the week. Also, this one is low. Again, low volatility. So for all of these, if you are not going too much up, you're not going too much down, then the EA is not taking it in. If it is trending currency pairs, then either will cash in or it will go into a big drawdown. This particular week has been a very boring one. It's been basically running in between the lines for most of the EAs, and that's why it hasn't been able to cash in that much. The top one, however, is the Euro Aussie, $29, 2.9%, and the Aussie New Zealand with $20, 2%. Euro Swiss francs only $17, 1.7%, and then Great British Pounds Aus also $17, 1.7%, and then Aussie USD, $16, 1.6%, and also here, only down to 2 digits, $99 or 2%. And again, if you take that into a monthly consideration, it's about 8% for the month of February, but we'll have a look at that most probably next week when we can do all the entire month up. We're also going to have a closer look to see the drawdowns, and you can see the drawdowns are quite low on the Hedged EA 1700 compared to the close profit 2000. Normally we will drag a bit of the floating profit and loss with us, but the settings we are using seems to be working quite well. So very quickly we are out of the floating profit and loss, which is good. We can see also here the monthly return has dropped from 1.4 down to 1.2. So that means again on a $1,000 account, 12% profits per month, or 14 as it was before. Let's see how it's going to turn around. Weekly return is still 0.3, so that's okay. Trade wins remain high, so 70%. And then trades per day, about 16. So again, a good average in between the RSI and the Wave Liberator. Now we have a history of more than a month, 35 days. But obviously we need a bit more time until we're going to start setting all this up, and you can start finding them on the coupling service. They are on our website here already. And then when they go on the coupling service, you will have a little marking down here, says on coupling service, where you can go click the individual links here. It will take you to FX Blue, and then you can analyze the individual trading results to see if this is actually a signal that you want to use in the future. In the meantime, we're going to have a closer look at the weekly returns, and you can see the beginning, it was 201, 436, then a very nice week, 880, very volatile week and a market in there, 391, and now a very disappointing $171 has come in this particular week here. So all the EAs, as you can notice, including the lucky trader here, is actually down. We are hovering just around the $100 mark overall for the top fives. The Aussie New Zealand for the lucky trader is on the top with $29, 2.9%. So that again is related to 12% on a monthly basis. Euro Swiss francs, $24, 2.4%. And then Great British Pounds CAT, $19, 1.9%, with New Zealand CAT $18, 1.8%. And the lowest of the top five is the Euro Great British Pounds, $14, 1.4%. And overall, as we said, for the top five, $104, 2.1%, which again basically translates into about 8.5% for the month. It is definitely low. So let's hope things are going to be picking up very, very soon. Portfolio also here for the lucky trader. As you can see, floating profit and loss 4,400, and the close profit a very nice 7,295. So also here we don't have this big dragging loss. With the changes that we made, seems to be working. We are gaining a bit away on the profits, but we don't really care because we sleep a lot better knowing that how this operates here and now. Total returns 1.8 or 18% if you translate that into a $1,000 account, which is not bad for 113 days. Monthly return also here looks like 1.2% or 12% on a $1,000 account. Trade wins are very close to the Hedged EA, as you can see, 69.7, so it doesn't need much to bump into the 70s. And trades per day, it is very active with 22.5% trades on average. Now we have some of these already on the coupling service. And again, on the website, you'll find a lot more details and information. So go to portfolio, then click on the lucky trader, and you can see here on coupling service, it'll tell you which ones are already there. And the rest, we still need a bit more history and also to make sure that they are good and stable. So far, most of them definitely are. But you can go in already now to have a look, see which ones you want to copy once they get on the service itself. And obviously also here we need to figure out where we are, 135 on the entire portfolio compared to 305, 888 on the weeks before. Very, very low. We have to go all the way back again to Christmas to find anything remotely closely to this. It is the lowest one for the week overall. So that shows how dull the market has been for this particular EA. Last but not least, also the bell trader. has come in here. That one seems to have done slightly better than some of the other EAs. So that is nice to see, because that's normally the one that creates the least profits here at the moment. Maybe we're a bit too cautious with the setups. But anyway, Great British Pounds CAT did $34, 3.4%, followed by Euro, Great British Pounds, $20, 2.8%, and then Great British Pounds USD, $27, 2.7%, and then Aussie New Zealand, $21, 2.1%, with Euro USD, $18, 1.8%, and overall for the top 5, $128 for the week, 2.6%. So we are moving into the 10%. So for an entire month, if we use those particular low numbers, which is obviously very nice. We're also going to have a look at the overall for the bell trader. And again, here balance, we have 16 accounts, $10,000. Look at the floating profit and loss, very, very low here, minus 339. Close profits, we already got more than 3,000 in here. So that works out quite nicely. Total return 1.8 monthly returns. It is still below what we have on the other EAs. So again, 0.7% or 7% if you are doing $1,000 accounts. Weekly return again here around the 2% mark. And then the trade wins is quite high, 72%. That's what we like to see. So definitely very, very happy with this one. We still have some currency pairs that doesn't work so well. But as you can see, some of the top accounts in here, they are doing okay. That's also why we have now with a history of 84 days in here. And that's, again, you can find now the first ones on the copy link service. There's just two for now. It's the Euro CAT on the LinkedIn service and also the Great British Pounds CAT. So these two are the ones that Alex and Expert Forex have accepted so far. So obviously we need to add more. But again, this is still very young accounts, only a couple of months old. We also have to look at the bell trader versus how everything else went. And as you can see, the portfolio is quite low, 192. And that also goes all the way back to, this is the beginning of January, where things were low for that particular one last time. Otherwise, you can see has been cashing in quite nicely overall. So all of these copy link service and the demo traders in here that we have been doing now for quite a few years. Alex has made a new video, so I'll make sure that the link for that particular video is in here. That is for the link to success. Basically, he is looking for Forex demo traders. So if you are a trader, if you have some robots and they don't necessarily have to be from Expert Forex, he would like to hear from you. You can put these forward, similar to actually what High Tech Investment does, what you can see, what we do here every single week, trying to show that these particular EAs are working. And most of the people either wants to trade themselves, and if they can't figure that particular one out, they go to the copy link service. That seems to be more and more popular. We can definitely see that more and more are copying our signals, and we're also happy with the changes and the more stability that we have seen in the last 2 or 3 months in here, after we have completely made a change in the setups and the way we approach some of the trading in here. So again, there's a lot of money to be had over time. I can't exactly tell you you're going to earn a fortune. We haven't earned any fortunes here yet, but definitely it is all about getting the knowledge and also getting a bit for the lot of work that we do in here. But obviously, if you are full-time professional and you want to expand on this, hopefully there will be a great opportunity to make your fortune in the future in here. We also have to look at the video that Alex has created this particular week. So this is a new EA that I believe is coming. So he is doing a couple of videos as teasers in here on how to create the ultimate trend catcher. So, and in this particular video here, there is apparently a series. The next one was actually coming out as we are doing this particular video in here. So we didn't have a chance to review it yet. But these are the first steps in here, where he is playing around just with some of the indicators in here. And obviously the indicators, if you find the right ones in combination, then from there on, you will basically be able to develop an EA to automate everything. And I believe that is what Alex is trying to explain in these particular video series. So again, I'll leave the link in the video description below so you can go and have a closer look to see what is coming here in the future. In the meantime, the future is already here when it comes to the top 5 accounts with the copy link service. And again, as usual, what we try to do in here is basically floating profit and loss. We don't want to see anything above $300. So we're doing a bit of a search and making that in such a way that everything is low. And you can see in here, the biggest one we have is minus 89. No, sorry, 163 in here. And also total negative weeks in 8 weeks. We don't want to see anything above $300. Because again, we are considering $1,000 accounts, and that would be 30% in a drawdown. As you can see, very, very low. This particular one is the highest one, 131. And obviously we have one here, 125, so it looks pretty okay. And then return on drawdown, we also want to only see the ones that have 200 plus. And again, they are looking very good. Some have absolutely no risk whatsoever. And again, take this with a grain of salt, go and have a look at the individual links. We have highlighted all our links, and as you can see, these are the 2 new ones. They're so new that didn't seem to get the data in on the Excel, but they are working quite well. Otherwise, they wouldn't have been added in here. Simply click the blue links. You'll see all the details and information of it. And again, most of the links that you see here is actually high-tech investment links. So that means that the system that we have changed and adapted into seems to be working very nicely. If we have a look at the entire list, not just the top 12 in here, but the one based on the search criteria, then again, you'll notice how well things are going. Gains in the last 8 weeks. If we have a look at percentage, highest one is 85, so that's quite high. The lowest one we have is one of the new ones, 191. And that is about 8% in here. And that is actually in red. It doesn't mean that it's in minus. It just means that it is the lower end of the scale overall, but still doing extremely well. You can see floating profit and loss minus 45 only in here. So all of them are extremely low, and they are definitely worth a look. So if you are interested in the coupling service, or if you are interested to be a trader, then definitely go into the video description in here and have a look at Alex's videos. So this is what we had for you in this week's news report. As you can see, profits on all the EAs are actually low, very low compared to some of the previous weeks and even months in here. But again, you have to be very, very cautious if you want to make some particular changes. Just because your profit is actually low this week does mean it's going to be again next week here. So we are not really changing our settings just based on 1 or 2 weeks in here. If there is a trend going forward, definitely we will do so, but it is very important here. So not to increase your profit factor, so on the copy link service or anything else, because very, very quickly what looks to be low profit today might be a high profit and a high drawdown tomorrow here again. This is set up for all year around to make sure that we don't crash all these accounts, and you are also making a bit of money on the side. So the new settings that we have, we are very happy with them. As you can see also as we go through Expert Forex Copy Link Service Excel in here, a lot of them are actually at the very top in here, showing that there's good profits and at the same time there's low drawdown. So we are very happy with that complete change and focus that we have done since end of last year in here. So, and we will obviously continue to do so. As also, if you are a trader and you're watching this, as you saw in the particular video here, there's actually opportunities for you. If you have the skills, go in, have a look, contact Alex at Expert Forex, and then also see how you can actually set up some of your own EAs. They don't have to be Expert Forex at all. You can take any EAs, even the ones you built yourself, and then try and build up a small little fortune in here over time. So I hope you enjoyed the video again here this week. I will be back next week. Hopefully we will see a lot more profit coming in. So until then, bye-bye.
I hope you enjoyed our news report. So please don't forget to like and add your comment below, as we would love to get your feedback. But before you go, make sure you subscribe to the channel and don't forget to keep the notification bell turned on. That way you will never miss any of our future videos. We hope to see you back on this channel very soon.